What you see at first is not a dream home. It is an aging city house, worn by heat, rain, and time, standing quietly between walls of concrete and noise. But even now, there is something waiting beneath the faded surface, a promise of beauty that has not disappeared. If you love home transformations that bring nature back into everyday life, subscribe, like this video, and join me as we uncover the soul of this hidden place. From the street, the house feels modest, even forgotten, yet the moment you look closer, you can almost imagine what it could become. Behind those tired walls is the possibility of rustling palms, filtered sunlight, warm stone, and open spaces that breathe. This is the kind of transformation that reminds us a home does not need to be perfect to become extraordinary. If this vision inspires you, tap like, and tell me in the comments what tropical detail you would add first. Today, we begin a journey from hard urban living to something softer, calmer, and deeply alive. We are not just renovating an old structure, we are reshaping the feeling of home itself, turning a dense city property into a tropical concrete jungle with a Balinese heart. So stay with me until the end, subscribe for more tropical design inspiration, and comment below if you would keep the original character or transform everything completely. Stepping closer, the details begin to reveal themselves. Cracked walls, peeling paint, and uneven textures tell a story of years gone by, each mark holding a memory of weather, life, and quiet endurance. Yet instead of feeling neglected, the space feels honest, like a canvas waiting for a new chapter to be written with intention and care. There is a raw beauty in imperfection, especially in tropical design where nature embraces age rather than hiding it. The goal here is not to erase the past, but to work with it, allowing the existing concrete and structure to become part of the final aesthetic. This is where character begins to form, where old surfaces meet new life. As we walk through this worn exterior, you can already imagine how greenery will soften these edges, how shadows from leaves will dance across these surfaces, and how warmth will replace the coldness of bare concrete. This stage is about seeing potential clearly, about recognizing that even the most weathered house can become something deeply inviting. This is the moment where everything begins to change. The rigid lines of concrete no longer stand alone, as the first layers of tropical greenery are introduced into the space. Large leafy plants, climbing vines, and grounded textures begin to soften the structure, creating a balance between strength and life that feels both intentional and calming. Instead of hiding the concrete, the design celebrates it. Smooth surfaces meet wild foliage, shadows of leaves stretch across walls, and light filters through layers of green, creating movement throughout the day. This contrast is what gives the home its identity, a tropical concrete jungle that feels grounded yet alive. As greenery expands, the atmosphere begins to shift. The air feels cooler, the light feels softer, and the once harsh environment starts to feel welcoming. You can imagine walking barefoot here, surrounded by textures that feel natural and comforting, where architecture and nature no longer compete, but exist in harmony. Walls that once divided and confined are now open to create a seamless flow of space and air. The layout begins to breathe, allowing natural ventilation to pass through every corner of the home. This shift is not just visual, it is deeply sensory, where the movement of air becomes part of the living experience. Large openings replace small windows, and transitions between indoor and outdoor areas become softer and more fluid. Sunlight enters generously, casting warm highlights across concrete floors and textured walls, while shadows gently shift throughout the day. The home begins to feel lighter, calmer, and more connected to its surroundings. In this new openness, every space feels intentional yet relaxed. There is no longer a strict boundary between inside and outside, only a continuous rhythm of light, air, and greenery. It is this balance that defines tropical living, where comfort is created not through enclosure, but through connection. As the structure opens and greenery settles in, the next transformation happens through materials. Warm wood tones, natural stone, and textured finishes begin to replace the coldness of plain concrete. Each surface is carefully chosen to evoke a sense of calm, grounding the home in a palette inspired by the tropics. You start to notice how every detail contributes to the atmosphere. Wooden beams add depth overhead, stone walls bring a sense of permanence, and handcrafted elements introduce subtle imperfections that feel human and real. This is where the space becomes more than just visually appealing, it becomes emotionally comforting. The balance between raw concrete and organic materials creates a layered richness that defines Balinese modern design. It feels warm without being heavy, minimal without being empty, and refined without losing its connection to nature. This is the moment the house begins to feel like a true sanctuary. The transformation intensifies as greenery begins to rise vertically, turning plain walls into living landscapes. Climbing plants stretch upward, layered foliage fills empty surfaces, and the once static structure now feels alive with movement. This is where the home starts to blur the line between architecture and nature. Vertical gardens not only maximize limited urban space, but also create a dramatic visual impact that defines the entire home. The eye is drawn upward, following cascading leaves and textured greenery that soften every hard edge. It becomes a dynamic backdrop that changes with light, growth, and time. Standing within this space, you feel surrounded, not enclosed. The greenery wraps around the home, filtering air, softening sound, and creating a sense of calm that contrasts beautifully with the busy city outside. This is the essence of a tropical concrete jungle, dense, immersive, and deeply refreshing. At the center of the home, a quiet transformation unfolds into something truly special. What was once an unused or forgotten space is now opened into a courtyard, creating a private oasis that anchors the entire design. It draws light inward, invites air to circulate, and gives the home a natural focal point. This courtyard is more than just a visual feature, it becomes a daily experience. Surrounded by greenery, softened by natural materials, and touched by sunlight throughout the day, it offers a moment of stillness within the rhythm of urban life. Every room now feels connected to this calm, central space. As you move through the house, your perspective constantly returns to this inner garden. It creates a sense of balance, where architecture frames nature and nature softens architecture. This is where the tropical lifestyle feels most present, quiet, grounded, and deeply restorative. As the design continues to evolve, water is introduced as a calming presence within the space. A shallow reflecting pool or a narrow water feature begins to mirror the surrounding greenery and architecture, adding depth and quiet movement. The once static environment now feels fluid, alive, and gently expressive. The sound of water becomes part of the daily experience, softening the harshness of the city beyond the walls. It creates a subtle rhythm that enhances relaxation, blending effortlessly with rustling leaves and flowing air. This is where the home begins to engage not just visually, but emotionally and sensorially. Light dances across the surface of the water, reflecting onto concrete walls and wooden textures, creating ever-changing patterns throughout the day. It is a simple addition, yet deeply transformative, turning the home into a sanctuary that feels peaceful, balanced, and complete. As the design reaches deeper into the home, every room begins to open itself to nature. Bedrooms, living areas, and even bathrooms are no longer enclosed spaces, but extensions of the tropical environment outside. Large openings, soft partitions, and flowing layouts dissolve the boundaries between inside and out. Natural light becomes the primary source of illumination, shifting gently throughout the day and bringing each space to life. Greenery is no longer just placed around the home, it becomes part of the rooms themselves, framing views, softening edges, and creating a sense of continuity that feels effortless and calming. Living in a space like this feels different. There is a quiet connection to the outdoors in every moment, whether it is waking up to filtered sunlight through leaves or relaxing in a living room that opens into a garden. It is a lifestyle that feels slower, more grounded, and deeply refreshing. As the sun begins to set, the entire atmosphere of the home transforms once again. Warm golden light spills across concrete surfaces, softening their edges and bringing out the richness of wood and stone textures. The greenery catches the light in layers, creating depth, shadow, and a quiet sense of movement. This is the time when the city begins to fade into the background. The noise feels distant, replaced by a calmer rhythm of rustling leaves and gentle air. Subtle lighting begins to glow from within the home, blending seamlessly with the natural tones of dusk, creating a space that feels both intimate and expansive. In this moment, the house reveals its full transformation. What was once rigid and closed now feels soft, open, and deeply inviting. It becomes more than a place to live, it becomes a place to pause, to breathe, and to truly feel at home within nature. Beyond the visual transformation, this home is designed for everyday life. Morning light filters gently into each space, inviting slow starts and quiet moments. Simple routines like having coffee, opening a window, or walking barefoot across cool floors become experiences that feel connected to nature. Every corner of the house supports a lifestyle that is both comfortable and intentional. Spaces are not just designed to look beautiful, but to feel effortless to live in. Air flows naturally, light changes throughout the day, and greenery continues to grow, making the home feel alive and constantly evolving. This is what makes the transformation truly meaningful. It is not just about creating a tropical aesthetic, but about shaping a way of living that feels calmer, healthier, and more grounded. A home like this becomes a daily retreat, offering balance in the middle of a busy urban world. What once stood as an aging city house has now become something entirely different. A tropical concrete jungle that feels alive, balanced, and deeply connected to nature. Every layer of the transformation, from structure to greenery to light, has come together to create a home that is both visually stunning and emotionally grounding. This is more than just a renovation story, it is a reminder of what is possible when we rethink how we live with nature. Even in the middle of a dense city, a space can be reshaped into a private sanctuary filled with light, air, and life. The beauty of tropical living is not in luxury alone, but in how it makes you feel every single day. If this transformation inspired you, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Tropical Dwell for more design ideas, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What part of this home would you bring into your own space? And what would your version of a tropical paradise look like?